we should be live now. Everybody, thank you very much for coming back.
So was that it? Because it was amazing.
Well, I cut it off quickly at the end, but I had to swap around the audio and all that. Don't worry about the technical shit.
You're muted.
Oh, fuck off. I'm not muted to the stream. The stream can hear me.
Good job, bro.
Only
Do you even
you couldn't
YouTube?
hear me. I was the stream could hear me, and that's all that matters. As long as the audience can hear me. Thank you,
Well,
everybody,
no.
for coming back. The reason for the big intro was not existential crisis time savage, but I was trying to put across to Chris what we're aiming for, the same sort of idea, the same sort of yeah. I think he got the point.
Yeah, I mean
I
it was
love it.
well
It's
done. Did you
fantastic.
make it yourself?
About 70% of it is the footage I didn't make, but I put it all together, if you understand what I mean. I didn't make
you
the
edited
music,
it.
but I found videos and found this, found that, and all the rest, and put it all together. And
Yeah.
I didn't make the space scenes. I tried to make planets and fucking audio, but that was like, no, there's already a really good one. I'm just gonna.
Well, I think what you and Chris want to do is definitely good, right? You know, forming a community, establishing connections with people. I guess since Christopher is is the guest of honor, maybe he wants to bring up a topic for discussion. But I did want to talk to him about a couple of things he said. By the way, someone is echoing. Was it just me in my ear?
I don't use headphones, so it may be me. I'll turn it down.
I'm actually happy to, answer questions. Because
Right now,
Simus,
ahead.
what are you laughing hysterical at, brother? What are you
he's
doing?
laughing at me. He's laughing at me, probably.
He's singing. I know that you're
Yeah.
partial to the odd sing song as well, Athena.
Well, yeah,
Or Midnight. Sorry, Midnight.
yeah, midnight. But I'm not. I'm not Simus. Although I wouldn't mind to be with the luscious.
Okay, he's distracting. Go on ahead there.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Now you mentioned you mentioned that you had this pet theory of yours to
Yes.
where like people on Zoom with today's due to the pandemic, people are more using Zoom to connect, right? You feel like there's something missing, due to due to due to the pheromones humans naturally give off.
I wouldn't say pheromones because that's a controversial word.
Well,
when
okay, fair enough.
But yeah, hold on a second. Let me kind of put it in the way that I mean it, and it's kind of a short sentence. I think that humans have a blind spot to how important the sense of smell is in communication.
Okay. I do agree that we do have a blind spot, but I would say, and maybe this is just anecdotal, but I would say that at least when it comes to me, I've been able to form really good relationships with people online, without needing the sense of smell.
I
Or,
agree.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of one of the
Can I point something out? Can I
No,
point?
but
No,
go ahead, it's your
I'm
stream.
totally no. I'm throwing your whole theory out the fucking window because I think the.
Well, it's not mine, it's his.
I'm gonna fucking right. Yeah, you're only in for 2 minutes, right?
Jesus.
Christopher's point was that we have this beforehand. If I can be in nicest way possible, Midnight, would you not be an introvert that doesn't generally go out to social interactions, and most of your interactions would be based on the internet? So I would say that you didn't need it or got used to without it, could work your way past it, so to speak.
Right, but I'm not right, but I'm not. I hate stuttering. Well, there is some truth to that, but when you're allergic to the sun, of course you're gonna have to stay inside. And what I mean by that, I'm an albino, all right? If I stay outside the sun too long, I'll burn up like a Christmas tree.
I'm Irish. I totally get you, man. Sunstroke of anything over 30 degrees, I get sunstroke.
Well, but I mean, well, look, okay. So here's the thing. I'm obviously not the only introvert in the world. There are other people who obviously can go out, can go out, and can go out in this, in the sun. So I do kind of agree that maybe if, that because I haven't really gone out as much, I've I guess gotten used to not not need it. But at the same time, there are many people out there, yeah. there are many people out there, who are not as introverted as I am, yet can make connections with people online as well. You know
Well,
what I
I
mean?
mean, I think Fabio has a contribution to make because
Does he?
I've heard you, Fabio, speak about this in the past about getting to
Oh,
know
that was a joke.
somebody,
Go ahead.
getting to know somebody, being able to, you know, break bread with them, smell them, hug them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be in their presence.
Yeah. I mean, I was under the. So I held the position for a very long time, and I'm still in that position that you can't be friends with someone that you only know on the internet. It's not possible. I think that the media modifies the person, modify the behavior of the person. Just it's not a social setting. It's you talking, to a device, and you got to, there is eventually some people on the other side. Sometimes you interact, sometimes you don't, but it's just a big mirror, and it's not you. Only, I mean, very rare cases, there is a deep connection between what you present on the internet and what you really are in real life. So again,
Would you say that's public though, Fabio? Is that's not limited to public though? Would you say
no. It's not limited to
offline?
public. I mean,
after hangouts and stuff
yeah.
and things like that.
I really believe that the media changes the communication, and it also changes the way that a person approaches communication. I mean, it's if I say, for example, that nobody or very few people talk the way they write, I think that would be there would be very little controversy about that, right? Apparently, it's a big deal if I say that people behave in a different way online rather than in person. So you see what I mean?
Well,
I think.
Well, no, look, Fabio, I get where you're coming from, but I guess my experience has always just been different because the way I see it, the mind, the mind doesn't really care, whether you're speaking to someone on a
No,
device
no,
or
no, no.
whether they're, they're in real life. Yes, yeah, yes, being in the same room with somebody is a bit different, but not, but not a lot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe we just had say different experiences, but I've met a lot of people online, and some of them are, I do consider very good friends, and even though I haven't met them offline yet.
Listen, I'm not saying that you should not consider them friends. Okay, it was very clear from the get-go. I don't think that it can be internet friends, and this is because what is the value that I give to the word friendship? Maybe we have a difference in that definition. I'm super fine with that, But I have a very, very simple definition for a friend. To me, a friend is somebody that, if it's 3 a.m. Okay, I've got a problem. I don't care what problem is. I go and knock to the door to that person. He opens the door. He says, "Okay, here's the couch. Sleep it off." And he doesn't ask questions. He doesn't want to know why, what, how, what, and then. And I can stay there for as long as I can, and he won't say anything. That to me, it's a good basis, to define somebody a friend.
There's a physical context. There's a physical context to your definition.
Well, no. It's not a physical context. I'm describing a specific situation.
Right, well, that's why I was asking for clarification. A friend to you,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah,
you can turn up at their house and need a sofa to sleep on. So I'm like, right, a friend must have a physical connection.
Yeah. I mean, the situation is a little bit different.
If I could twist and give an analogy, say for talk's sake, your mother, your father, your auntie, your granny, you've had a loss. Could you then ring this person and have a conversation with them, vent, while they just sit there going, "I'm here for you"?
No, okay. Here's the thing. I was, because I've been thinking about what I've said for a long time. So the example I made is very precise. I knock at the door to somebody at 3 a.m. at night. The guy opens the door. He sees me. He invites me in the house, and he made me sleep. no question asked. He doesn't want to know anything. It's total and completely, how do you say? I mean, when you give everything to the guy without even knowing why or what, there's got to be no reason. So the example was very precise. It's not,
Well, that's the precisity of it, was the physical.
Right, but like the example of that to where it can apply online. If you're feeling, if you're feeling down about something, you can message this person and like they're always there. You know what I mean? If you say, they will eventually get back to you. I've had, I don't know. I guess we have different experiences.
I mean,
I get what you're saying. It's. I get what you're saying. I honestly don't think we're gonna agree on this, and that's fine. We can agree to disagree.
I would like to ask Christopher. Christopher, do you think a genuine friend? I'm going to paraphrase, right? I'm not going to be fucking labels and bullshit. A genuine friend, someone that you would consider a friend, must have a physicality, regardless of whether Fabio is making that statement or not.
I don't. I consider so, but then again, I'm like a super nerd about this. Like I have a category of acquaintances. I have a category of, friends. Friends online, friends in real life. I have best friends. I'm a 50-year-old, and I have like a couple best friends in real life. Doug, who Fabio, of course, knows. And then my buddy Chris Massey that I grew up with, my buddy Keith in Oregon. So, like, I have plenty of room. There's, here's how I put it. There's plenty of room at my table for everybody. But the people that I consider friends are the ones that, they need to be a special connection. Mm-hmm. And there's plenty of people that I've met online that I haven't met in person that I consider friends. But they're fewer than the ones I consider acquaintances.
Yeah, that's exactly right. There are some people you meet online who you just have an instant connection with, and they're with you through thick and thin. Sometimes you may have falling outs, but then eventually, but then eventually you talk again. I don't know, man. It's just I've had someone I've met like 5 years ago who's been a really good friend of mine. You know what I mean? We're kind of not speaking on speaking terms right now, but you know what I mean? But it's really weird when I look back, right? He's been like, I've only known him online, but I've talked to him in voice. I've seen what he looks like. I know a lot about him, right? He and I.
No,
what?
No. I'm in total agreement, especially with the mention of you having a falling out at the minute. I had a falling out with Critical Cripple like 2 weeks ago, and you don't want to talk about the video being an existential crisis. If anyone knows, me and Dave, like we do this together. It's even a fucking topic for a panel. Once I found out what it was, like a day later, I felt like kicking my fucking self, and all I would have done at the time was ask Dave,
I guess
not having that friend there, and he's completely online. We have planned to meet up, but that's I feel like my left leg's chopped off if I don't get the fucking talk,
dude,
Dave.
MathPig, trust me, I completely understand with you because it's been, okay, let's see, it's been over, I don't know, I can't do time frames as well. Let's just say,
Thank you, Secular Pagan Mum.
Let's just say it's been a month and a couple of weeks since the falling out, and I'm still trying to get over it. You know what I mean?
If I can say, I think that Uris did make a very good point. We will get lost down this fucking rabbit hole, but we should just invent a new fucking word because we are fighting over semantics ever so slightly.
He's kind of right, but I do agree with Fabio that there is the physicality to consider. But I would say that as Maute and you said, you can make special connections with people, which are rare, by the way. Once you find those people online, I can't even describe it.
Well, I also want to address something that you brought up initially, and just to clarify something and disentangle something. So I guess I was talking in more generalities, and if when I said like the whole blind spot thing. So if it doesn't apply to you, like I definitely have room for that. Right. But it's for me, like I'm a performer, right? Like I'm a musician. So I spend a lot of time in front of people, near people, in proximity of people. I lecture. There's a
Yeah.
performative aspect of that. And I'm a content creator, less so now than I used to be, but was. And so that's also a performative kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that it's completely different playing in front of a live audience, teaching in front of live students. And I've also had the opportunity of teaching remotely. It's like
Which, that's
there's
fair.
something missing, from a lived experience. And, of course, I'm biased because I manage a lab that studies smell. So
Well, no. I mean, hold on.
If I could
hold
just
on,
say,
hold on.
earlier on, I mentioned in the chat when this first came up that I 100% agree with that. I know if the girlfriend is watching, but she called me earlier today just sniffing her hair. She's curled up she's curled up here, lying on my chest. It's like, what are you doing? I'm just smelling
Well,
her hair.
sorry, I don't mean to take over this chat. There's so much I want to talk to you about. I know.
He's
I
fangirling,
think I-
okay? He's fangirling. He's been texting me all night. He's fucking fangirling.
Okay, I have to say something at this point. There's a reason dogs smell each other's butts.
Nice contribution, Simon. I mean, I know I'm not. I mean, I'm not being sarcastic. I'm just. But no.
Did you just call me a dog?
No, a dog's ass.
You did.
A
Now
dog's
that
ass.
I have a big nose, but it's not that big. Okay.
Oh my God! I really want to make a joke now, but I feel like I can't on YouTube.
I'm
God
going to say,
damn it.
can we get the chemical composition of what dogs' butts smell like from Christopher Maute?
I don't think he knows that, but that we're getting past.
I don't have a jar of dog butt in my lab.
No, but
I have jars of some really crazy shit like cadaverine,
Okay.
putrescine. I have some wild shit, man.
okay, you know what?
I'm
You
not
know what?
dog butt.
You know what? I'm gonna find your email and just email you about these things because there's too much to talk about.
What is the name of that gland in that animal? That anal gland, which has they get vanilla extract out of.
The civet musk. It's a civet
Yeah.
cat.
Wait, they get vanilla extract out of cats? I'm confused. What?
So most perfumes, what we consider a very, what's the word I want to use? Pleasant. There we go. A very pleasant musk smell is actually an uber ultra diluted version of a gland secretion from a civet cat.
Are
from
we
an anal
talking about
gland.
the South Park episode here?
No.
Oh, this is the truth. This is perfumery.
Well, the
Yeah,
South Park
that
episode,
is-
they got cats to expel that on their face, and they tripped out and went to Tittyland.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, but that's different. That's like sniffing cat butts for the sake of getting high. This is.
My
That's a
brain
whole
goes
other
some
topic.
fucked up
I'm happy
places,
to talk
Chris,
about that
okay?
as well, but that's different.
My brain goes some fucked
Yeah.
up.
Okay. Okay. Just Bounty. Go ahead. Please continue. Or is
So
that
no,
it?
that's pretty much like what we consider like one of the main ingredients in some of the most popular perfumes that are available are extracts from animal glands or synthetic versions of because there's some
Whale
weird
snot.
thing that
Was
happens
whale
with
snot not a big
perception
thing?
where say that again.
Was whale snot or something to do with whales back in the day for perfume a big thing?
I'm not
is it?
familiar with that. And
Well-
also, I'm not an expert on perfumery per se.
No, but he's an expert on perception, probably.
I was going to say skunks as well. That must be a powerful chemical.
Yes,
Skunks,
like
yeah.
evolution pretty much determined that they're going to they're going to let everybody within their close proximity know that they're pissed off.
Ambergris. Ambergris is a secretion, a waxy secretion from the intestine of a sperm whale that in the West is used to stabilize the scent of perfumes.
So it's a stabilizer. That's interesting.
Yeah. Now you were talking about perception.
So the thing with perception is at low concentrations, things can be pleasant such that at higher concentrations, they're disgusting.
You kind of broke up there.
disgusting.
Now? Yeah, my
High
computer
concentrations.
just went from my computer just went from like day mode to night mode, so that might have been what the glitch was. Excuse me. Thank you, Mac. This is so at low concentrations, it's pleasant in a way that at high concentrations, it's not. So it's not like, more of a good thing is good. It's just like it's pleasant to a point, and then it's going to be an inverted U function, such that if the x-axis is pleasantness, good and bad, and then intensity is on the other axis, the more intense it gets, the more.
I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting that you brought up the Cartesian coordinate system, the x and the y, because I heard you mention that your lab was able to come up with mathematical formulas for smell.
Well, now that wasn't my particular lab. I'm just saying that the field we are in, which is psychophysics, we are one of the only fields.
Dude,
we are the only field in psychology that actually has not physical laws, but psychological laws.
Okay, what do you think? What do you think of the contrast principle?
I'm not familiar with it.
Oh well, from what I read, if I remember correctly, it's like if you have, let's see, I'm trying to remember if you have what is it like? Trying to remember the example because they used a bowling ball or a feather. You would think the bowling ball was heavier, or I can't remember. I just remember the contrast principle. It's a big thing. Was one of the things in psychophysics that they found. Like God, I really hate my memory. I feel embarrassed that I brought it up.
It's like counterintuitive. Is that the word you're looking for? Sorry, I mean that.
Kind of.
Yeah. I would say that it's counterintuitive that a smell could be pleasant for so long, and then the higher rate it gets, it could be unpleasant. I would say that.
No, hang on.
Sorry, midnight. Sorry.
No, you're all right, Wild. You're all right.
Well, so I just looked up the contrast principle.
Yeah, thank you. I just, like I said, I can't remember it very well. I just read about it, but it seems interesting.
And
it applies everywhere.
All I'm coming up with, as far as it's in the principle of art, it's they're talking about contrast, but you might be talking about cross adaptation.
No, hang on. I looked. You have to look for. You have to specifically look for. Hold on.
Right. I'm gonna midnight. We're gonna just last question on fucking smells.
Fair
and
enough.
Stuff like that
Let's finish this up. Tie it up with a nice little bow.
Hang on. Find it.
I'd like to get a question from Simos and Fabio. I'm going to give the floor to Wildheart next because he's been sitting here with his arm up down to ask a question.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're fine, man. It's the only way sometimes to do that. Like, do you want to ask your question?
I guess that's fine. I'll. That's fine.
It's a simple question. It won't take long. I just wanted to ask Christopher Maute. I was the person in the side chat. Excuse me. Before that asked about Shannon Rocky's.
Is she still a deist?
Yeah, I would like. Yeah, okay, that's it.
Yes, she's at the dinner table right now, and she just said, "Yes, I am."
Right. I just wanted to check whether you'd won her over or not.
If I won her over,
he wants to know if I had won you over. That's the funniest fucking shit ever. I won you over. I don't know to where, but from deism. Oh no! Here she comes. You are in for it, motherfucker. What I wanted to.
I was hoping she'd be an atheist by now, but never mind.
Here you go.
Oh, we can't hear it, man. We can't hear it.
I was gonna say, to be fair, you don't try to convince anyone of anything.
That's true as well.
To be realistic, I can't not follow the evidence, so there's that.
You can hear that. Perfect. Thank you.
That's fair. Thanks a lot for that. Cheers.
Yeah, she's just gonna leave it at that.
The reason
because a longer conversation would be needed.
But before I even had this set up and everything, the two people I definitely wanted to be here, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, that through Christopher I've been friends with now, I'm allowed to be friends with, is Fabio and Simos. Fabio and Simos would probably be the people here who have personally known Christopher the longest out of everybody. And yeah, we're going to make fun of Chris and do that sort of now. Does anyone have a story? Does anyone have a question? Does anyone have something that really annoys Chris that you've known about and you just want to poke him? This is the time. I want to get to know the dark side of Chris. I want to see him wound up. I want to see him. Don't say that.
I mean, I did wanted to read something.
You're not Simos or Fabio. Sorry.
I mean, okay.
Over to you, Fabio, because you've met the big man in real life.
No, I mean, I don't really know what can I say to embarrass the guy. I mean,
well, then blow smoke up his ass. Say something nice about him.
Well, no, I mean, I won't do that either, because I did it recently, and, the only couple of stories which were a little bit weird, everybody and his dog actually knows that. But, if Simons go ahead, I got some emergency questions here. I can pick one. And so, Simons, you go ahead. Let me see if I find something.
He's got that evil 12-year-old grin. Does anyone else see Fabio with that evil 12-year-old grin?
Let me see. Okay. Okay. Have you ever tried to suck your own cock?
That's where you went.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a question.
I shut down midnight and give you the floor, and that's where you go with.
Hey, those are emergency questions,
Okay.
right? So
a better emergency question.
Am I
Pokemon
allowed
is
to answer
psychology. Pokemon is philosophy. Come on, something that you and him
this?
disagree
Just ask me a
on.
question.
Yeah, I ask him a question. I mean, people
Hold on
might
a
be
second.
interested.
Are you ready for
Yeah.
the answer?
Yeah.
Once, but it was for charity.
Oh, okay.
It was for charity. Oh,
What
dear.
was it?
Yeah,
An
that's fair enough,
LGBT
fair enough.
gay parade or something?
It
So,
was for charity.
so I
How is that even possible?
so I got.
It was the
okay.
Make-A-Wish Foundation.
So
oh my God, I won't. No, I
No,
can't say
no,
that joke.
kids and
Who-
sucking your own penis. We're not going to have that conversation.
Who do you think deserves a statue of themselves who hasn't got a statue of themselves currently?
Is it my nose?
I would say it's you, Fabio.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. So I got another one. When you masturbate, is the first stroke away or towards?
Away.
Away.
Can I just say I'm not seeing a theme here?
No, that's interesting. That's interesting.
Which sense could you do without?
Sight.
Sight.
Would the blind man like to comment on that?
So
Yes, I would actually.
I was going to say that's down to midnight.
So you'd rather be without sight rather than feeling?
Without feeling. Tactile sense?
Yeah.
No, that would be a horrible life.
And I recently
Without
severed my
tactile
finger,
sense.
and half of my finger has no sensation, and even just typing.
No.
on the
I
keyboard, it
said,
feels-
you would rather be blind rather than have tactile feeling. Because you said sight, right?
Yeah, I'd rather be blind. I'd rather not have sight than not have touch sensation.
Is this to do with music? Do you think?
What's
Is this to do with music? do
Smell,
you think?
smell, taste. So flavor, which is smell and taste, and music, yes.
Yeah.
And also touch. Like I want to be able to perform. I don't
And
need
to
my
play,
fucking
yeah,
eyes
you
to play bass anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
That is not the most important. Fuck that shit.
Wildheart,
No.
Midnight. Midnight had some chat. Wildheart, I'm going to give you one more question, and then I'm going to swap you into the background if that's okay for a wee while. I've got a
I got my buddy
secret
Joe
guest.
here.
Well, not a secret guest.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Can I just say, MathPig is a cheapskate for not using all the money I've sent him.
Get the fuck out, cheapskate, my ass.
MathPig is a cheapskate for not using all the money I've sent him to buy a premium StreamYard. By the way, I'm doing a kind of 24/7 kind of live stream in the honor of Nadia Yvette Chambers.
Yeah, not anymore. You're not.
Yeah, I'm not at the moment, but yeah, so 24/7 is wrong. Anyway, a question for Maute. I'll change it from a question to just a praise. I have watched you for. I was the one who mentioned you on New Covenant Group as well. I remember that. I remember you were the first person who mentioned me on YouTube. I remember that clearly. You were doing a kind of music. You know how music had influenced people's past.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that series. And you were the first person who ever mentioned me. So I'll change it from a question to just a thank you very much. And you can put me into the background now.
Thank you for the kind words. I really appreciate that.
Cheers. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Have a great night.
Oh, it's all gone. Oh. There we go.
My man, Joe. There he is with the dancing eyebrows.
I will show my ignorance, and it says Cirrus Minid. But Cirrus, would you like to introduce yourself, even to me a little bit? I've seen you on Christopher's, but we haven't had an interaction ourselves.
Yeah, sure. It's a serious mind, because I like to do a plays on words. So serious like the dog star, and mind is in extracted from the earth. Not minded like some people. Very often people think that it is, but it's actually mind. And I've been on YouTube for a long time, although I haven't made videos much in the last few years. Although that's about to change, because I've had a bunch of people hounding me that I should start making videos again. So, Chris included.
If you're doing any lives, man, hit me up. I'll set up your live stream and we'll do all this sort of fancy stuff and all.
Cool. Yeah, and I am typically on Saturday nights. Got That Funk on his Breakfast Club channel. I'm usually on that every Saturday night. Occasionally I'm on Black Culture Geeks on Saturday morning from like 11 to 3. So yeah. And when I was making videos way back, I mostly did counter apologetics, and in more recent days, it's more political.
You're missing your.
And he also knows how to cook a mean red gravy.
I do. Well, with Chris's help.
Thank you for joining. And seeing as you know, Maute, I will pass the same question to you and give you a chance to think about it while Simos, whoever's breathing into their mic.
I think it's midnight.
Sorry about that.
Simos, oh no, you're grand. Put the mic back down because it's coming to you while Serious Mind thinks about his. Have you anything? Please don't fucking ask him. Has he ever sucked his own penis before? But
no, I would never do anything like that. How many times a week do you smell your own butt?
Do I smell my own butt? Well,
these are your friends. These are your friends that I asked to come on and was like,
I have answers to these questions. I mean, what blows my mind
Listen,
is
we
your
are
obfuscation.
Right? Yeah.
The obfuscation. Like, you don't want me to answer these. So there's two answers. There's two levels to this question. The first is, how often do I stand up and smell the seat that I was just sitting in? And you ask per day?
Per week. A number of times per week.
So,
I'm only looking for an average.
5. So that's 5. But like I said, this is multi-tiered. Smell my own butt. So then there's when I take my underwear off to throw it in a hamper. How often do I smell the butt part of it? Right? I would say that's like maybe once a month. So that's like 0.25 times a week. Does that make sense?
But what about how many times that you you scratch your butt and then sniff your hand.
Oh, seriously,
every single
serious,
time.
mind.
No
I thought
matter
you were
what-
going to save this, and now you're all about underneath the nails, fucking
Listen.
particles and shit now. You know,
I
he's
need
going to
to
bite his
explain
nail and be
something to
eating
everybody.
that like a
Check
week
this out.
later. You know, you're just not helping.
I was born with a little hole in my ear, not my regular ear hole, not the pinna, not the ear canal, but there's this little thing I was born with, right? And it fills up with cheese every once in a while. And when it does, it tickles. And so I scratch it, and some cheese comes out. Every time I do it, I sniff it.
You have tickly cheese from your ear that you smell on a regular basis.
And when I'm with, like, when I'm with Savage Minnow, that is such a puke barf worthy thing. Just seeing the word barf was hilarious to me. But if I'm with somebody that like I want to bust their chops, I'll just put it under their nose, like just like pick my ear. Like, God.
Well, see now, Chris has never actually done that to me, which is why he's still allowed in my house.
Exactly. That's why we're still friends.
Wildheart, I'm going to give you one short question, and then Savage is in the background, so I want to bring some Savage in. There's far too much penis on the screen, so it'd be nice to have some cat ears on the screen. So.
I got some other questions.
Yeah,
I bet you do.
has he ever fingered his own? Go midnight.
No.
Go midnight.
What's
Okay,
the square
so-
root of this room?
What is the most stupid thing you've done for love?
Oh, that's actually a fucking good question.
Wow.
See?
Yeah, I'm not going to say that publicly.
Oh.
Okay, so okay, you want to answer.
It was something to
answer
do
to
with-
this. So if you could travel back in time to compare any food of today with an equivalent in the past,
Food.
what time? Yeah, food. What time would you go back to, and what food would you taste?
Oh, now that's a good question from Marty.
They're all good questions.
No, they were not all good questions. Shut up. That's one good
They
question.
were all brilliant questions.
Don't make me kick you.
Some of them you
I'll
liked,
kick you
some
and
of them
bring
you
Savage in.
didn't.
You fucking
You
behave
know,
yourself.
it seems to me it's more like a you problem.
No, I don't have a problem. I have a mute button.
It's a YP, not an MP.
Christopher.
So, the food would be, and this might be surprising, but I would go to the 1950s, and there's two foods that I would want to taste. One is a Caesar salad, and one is a beef Wellington.
Ooh.
And here's why. In the 1950s, the height of cuisine for the fanciest restaurants, they're the only places where you can get beef Wellington. Wait, am I saying that right? That's the one wrapped in pastry dough, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's the one that who is this nuts? The Scottish dude who yells a lot. That's his specialty, Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
Oh God, Gordon Ramsay.
Right.
Yeah.
So
That's his new show.
I think
Greece
that
at the minute.
Gordon Ramsay's beef Wellington probably tastes different than the best beef Wellington at the height of beef Wellingtonness.
And
which
I
is
don't
the
even think it's down
1950s.
to the fact of who's cooking it and how they cook it and what oven. The beef would also be different. There'd be an awful lot of antibiotics. There'd be an awful lot of starch. There'd be an awful lot of corn. You know, is it grass fed or is it fed off Skittles? Like they're, you know, it's. You laugh,
Yeah,
man.
that
There
would
was
be
a
the
fucking
answer.
article. Some fucking farmer bought defunded Skittles because he couldn't afford corn, and he had a fucking accident, and they were all red, and they hit the rain in the middle of the road, and it looked like someone had slaughtered a load of people. The whole fucking road was red, and it was just, yeah, he bought Skittles because he couldn't afford corn.
Wow.
That's my answer.
Good answer.
Okay.
Simos, you go on a second one while Serious Mind
Well,
thinks of a better
it's just-
question than sniffing your own answer.
Well, I think mainly it would be when Meeting of the Minds was very successful. It's a well
I don't know
respected
about
show from the
very
past.
Successful.
Well, I mean successful in that it was a well liked show in the past.
By you.
But not just by me, not just by me, by many in the community. We fondly remember
nice
it.
of
That
you to
and
say.
Deeper Than Dogma, and there was several
Than
offshoot
Dogma.
shows
Yeah.
which were very, very well received from the community. And I was thinking, well, do you what happened? Because those kind of shows just aren't around anymore. The pace of the delivery, the type of interest that it garnered, and the subjects that were covered, they're just not here anymore. Why do you think that is? What's changed over the years?
I think that this dips into what we were talking about earlier, MathPig, right? Most of the internet is the octagon. And when you offer the dinner table, merely offering it doesn't mean that there's going to be a 50% of the population going to that versus the octagon.
So fuckers
right?
would starve and go to the octagon. They'd do without dinner to go to the octagon.
Because the people online are a self-selected group of people, and I think because of monetization, that has warped the way that people think they're doing what they want. But as soon as you include monetization, it shapes the way that you behave. It is a reinforcer in the environment that regardless of how you feel, and regardless of your motives, regardless of your incentives, it's a reinforcer in your environment that will shape your behavior, whether you like it, whether you know it or not.
Now,
so that's what I'm not monetized.
If I can say something, right? I am monetized, all right? And
you fucking capitalist pig.
No.
Filthy.
Oh, you're gonna love my answer. Hold on, you take your foot out of your mouth, because
it's not his foot.
Okay. You threw me off. Shush a minute, right? You asked me earlier. Once you get this was ours, maybe 8 hours before the stream. Get it scheduled and send it to me so I can share it out. And if anyone who's watching, any of the regulars is watching, I don't even schedule the streams now a week in advance like I used to, a couple of days in advance. Like, I used to look at my page, they were all scheduled. I'm doing it 25 minutes beforehand. I'm doing it 40 minutes beforehand. I'm finding out the exact moment. It's about 40 minutes before the stream that it must be scheduled. So 35 minutes before. And even sometimes that doesn't. I'm going out of my way to not, I wouldn't say not promote, but I'm doing as minimal. You know, and when you sent me that earlier, I actually typed a message going, I'm going out of my way lately to not, but then I realized who I was talking to and I did want to promote this conversation. So then I deleted the message and sent you the link instead. But the monetization, it's nice to get this, that, you get nothing from monetization, money-wise. They take
I understand.
a big chunk of it. It's,
And that, while that is the case at this level, I think that there are enough people that have broken through to other levels, right? Like, let's just start with like Steve Shives. Like, and before there was the Who's He What's. It's the what the fuck are they called? On YouTube, how do you make money? Like, what is it called?
E-begging.
Yeah, well, that's
Patron, Super Chats.
Super Chats, that's what I was talking about. Before Super Chats, there was just Patreon, right? So, like, Steve Shives was a content provider. He had a different show every 5 days a week, and he had a Patreon, and that made sense to me because he was, like he was legit. He was doing exactly what he wanted, right? I saw a lot of people drop being interested in, this is all answering the question, what happened to Simus? What happened? Why aren't there conversations like that? Those kinds of conversations are difficult to monetize, and they're difficult to monetize because they don't grab people's interest, and people don't go online for long form. Let me rephrase that. Not many people go online for long form conversation. They go for the octagon.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you think that then that maybe people were, before monetization, people were being a little hard on people that were trying to monetize or make money from the internet? Because there was a lot of criticism pre Google Plus going down about people, they used to call it begging, didn't they? E-begging. Yeah. Back in the day. And obviously now everybody does it, of course, right? If you're not doing it, people think you're a bit strange. I mean,
my position has evolved on this. My position has evolved on this to the point where, over time, you see more tip jars. Being able to tip people in Super Chat, and people being able to make money like that, and people being able to use it. Like, I see Savage Minnow in the private chat, and I hope they don't mind that I am saying this, but there's a purpose for which they want to monetize, And I don't. Hey, I don't necessarily. So I'll just talk to you like you're here now. So I don't necessarily see that as a problem. And I was painting in broad strokes as a way to kind of paint a narrative for
See,
why
the thing
these
is as well, if I can just
conversations aren't
interject, when people also a smaller channel says I want monetized, it's not to do with the money because you get nothing. But when you bump yourself to 1,000, you get bumped to a different algorithm. And it's more awareness for other people. It's not the monetization. It's not the monetization as in the money part of the monetization. It's more of
the algorithm.
The algorithm, I watched when I went from under 1,000 to over 1,000. My click-through rate jumped by 1%. That's on average because I'm being sent out to more people. So the general average, will see more and get more and stuff. And I could talk about the algorithm all day. It's
so while I think that the money is like kind of it's an indirect reinforcer, right? Because money doesn't mean any currency is arbitrary, but it's a more direct reinforcer than subscribers, which I see as a more indirect reinforcer. But I kind of see the same kind of thing going on. And again, I'm not judging for people that are good at it, for people that are killing it, for people that have a message and they're able to stay on message for their stated goals. Rock on. I just don't see it happening as frequently as people flaming out.
What I think,
the stress is huge.
There's a viewership. There's the viewership, right, which is your overall numbers, which happen if somebody watches 2 minutes of a fucking hour-long video. There's a view. So you've got 500, 600, 700 views on a video, right? You've got subscriber. You have 20,000 subscribers. This, that, and the other. You do live streams. I judge a good live stream relative to your viewership, to your subscribers. I'm jumping in on, I'm just randomly using Miss Lemon. Miss Lemon is a teacher. She's in, I think, South Korea at the minute. Recently just came across her. She's got very low subscribers on Twitter. Rabbit hole and all that. Tangent, not mattering. She's 20,000 subscribers. She's 7 people watching. She's 20,000 subscribers nearly, and only 7 people watching. And I know tonight that we've only 16 watching this with 21 watching the live, but I've only 1,000 people, and I'm the actual people who want to engage, having that actual physical, so to speak.
That's the Goldilocks zone. Between 12 and 36 people watching at a time is about as many as I can interact with. It feels like it breaches intimacy beyond that.
See, that's the thing, right? I used to make a joke whenever the channel started that I didn't have fans, I had friends that felt sorry for me. Right? You've got that 6 or 7 people that's watching you that you're on Discord with that you would consider to be online friends, and they come to your live streams because there's nothing else on. I have friends that feel sorry for me. It's, I'm getting 15, 16, sometimes I get bigger now. I would know most of the people in the chat. Twice tonight during the conversation with you, I did get distracted. Once I was getting slagged, and the other time trying to make an arousal fucking command for you that didn't fucking work. But, it's...
I just got to interject and then quickly just say to those of you that
I gotta
are out
get
there,
going real quick.
Please try and click on the people that you're subscribed to, if not only for 10 seconds, because obviously views really do count for those that are struggling to try and make it.
Yeah.
So I would say please try and do that.
There's that question before Chris
I know that Christopher
leaves.
gets to leave soon, so if I can, Savage, ask your question. I'll give the floor to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Savage, you came in. I definitely want you to, and also you haven't said anything yet, so come on.
Well, I have a question, and then there's also a question in the side chat from Wildheart. My question is a simple one, and it's a yes or no. If aliens were to take over the Earth and capture humans as their pets, would you prefer to sleep in a bed with your name written at the bottom, or just like a regular mattress on the floor?
You're worse than his friends. Come on, genuine man teaches fucking psychology.
And then Wildheart had a question in the side chat. What's your favorite interview / favorite person to talk to?
Online?
That's it. Online is what they said. Yeah.
Oh.
Bearing in mind there
That's
is no correct answer to this.
Yep.
My favorite interview was Kent Hovind, because it was one of the weird, chaotic situations where I think I maintained center, very unlike my G-Man hang that went off the rails. So that's like when having conversations and interviews is a craft that I like to hone, and that Kent Hovind interview for me was like a moment where I was like, okay, I'm able to like not take the bait and get him to answer the questions the way that I want, and he's not able to go on script, and like I'm hoping that this is charming him, until eventually he was just like, I need to argue. But that's a whole other ball of wax. But as far as on a regular basis, I mean, it's the cats here, man. Like I got Joe, I got Fabio, I got Simus, so I mean, I got MathPig sometimes.
The arousal command worked.
Not an asshole.
The arousal command worked. It comes up as the name of the person who tagged it, and it goes, smells like Chris Maute.
Yes.
What age do you think you have to be old?
Good question.
Depends
Good question.
Depends on when you feel you're old.
Yeah, I think that age is a state of mind.
No.
Really?
No.
Really?
Old is a state of mind. Old is a state of mind.
Do you know what old is?
Really?
Whenever you sleep in the sofa and you wake
That
up
is-
and your hips sore,
That is
that's
spoken
when you know
like a
you've got
real
old.
old person. Yeah.
You fall asleep in the sofa watching snooker and wake up with a sore hip. Oh, I'm getting old.
Old is when you can't fight being young anymore.
I was in the park with my child like a couple of months ago, and she took, I wouldn't say a leap of faith, but she jumped, and it was totally a jump that she wasn't going to make, but she jumped it anyway and didn't make it, and my body disallowed me from taking the slightly bigger one. You know, there's one this way, and then there's one that way that the kids aren't supposed to jump, and I was like, I can do that. My body wouldn't fucking let me. Alright, I took 3 attempts. The third attempt, I forced through it, and instead of landing, like that's the whole surface, instead of landing like that, like I thought, I fell over. I made a cunt out of myself. My body was right. I should, we're old.
Yeah. Well, that's my problem. I mean, mentally, I still feel relatively young, but my body reminds me every day that I'm completely wrong.
All right, gang. I got a spaghetti dinner waiting for me over here.
Before you go, I didn't get a chance to ask you a question, Chris.
All right, joke. Let's do this.
Yeah. So, if you had, if budget wasn't an issue and you could get whatever actors you needed to do the roles and they would perform them the way you wanted them to, what TV show would you bring back if you could?
Better be Stargate SG-1.
Are you ready for this one? On Saturday mornings, there was a show in the 1970s. There was only not even a full season's worth of episodes, and it was called Big John, Little John. And it was about I think it was an adult that's through some weird, wacky 1970s magic got turned into a little kid throughout the episode, and that was like the weird thing. It was like Big before Big was a movie. It was like an adult in a little kid's body, and then it would switch back to an adult, and it was like the Shaggy MD, right? It's like the same premise. It's like, oh, when am I going to turn into a dog? Oh, antics, right? When am I going to turn into a child? Yeah, antics. So that's my deep cut. Big John, Little John. Everyone look that up.
I heard the name. Didn't know anything about the show.
Of course, fucking Titan would remember. Titan.
I thought you
were. I think that is also an answer to how old do you have to be old. You know? To be old. When you give that kind of answers, I think that okay, we're getting there.
It was on right after the Animal Olympics.
Right. I'm going to interject. I'm going to interject and let you go, because if she's put that mince on the spaghetti, it's very hard to reheat it.
I just wanted to tell Christoph, when he said Saturday morning, I was thinking you were going to say Hong Kong Phooey.
Oh yes. Brilliant.
All right, that's definitely in the top 5.
Chris,
or Wonderbug.
Lots of love, lots of respect.
Monkey.
Thank you very, very much for
Say
coming
to the
on
kids.
Good night, everybody.
And
Thank you all so much for hanging out.
Christopher, there's a reason that dogs smell each other's butts.
Yeah, okay, I want to know which one it is. Come on. You've been
Thank you very
dying
much, Brother John.
Yeah.
If you could be a cartoon
Why is that,
character, he's
Simon?
gone. He's gone now.
Well, now, I hadn't really thought that deep. It just sounded really profound in a philosophical type way. But
I thought
No,
I
no.
mean,
The reason,
I was
the reason is
trying
what
to
you
help
said.
you, you know.
Okay, thank you. The reason is what you said. You know, you can't be friends unless you've actually hugged somebody and smelt them, right? And that's what you need to do to actually be a friend. Because if you can't stand the smell of them, then it doesn't matter how much they say.
Well, Fabio came to the States and he totally ditched me, man.
Well, there's a reason for that, because he smelt your butt.
Speaking of how Sirius's mind's butt smells, Sirius, thank you very much for coming on, man. I know that, as I said earlier, we haven't had any interactions or anything like that, so I appreciate you coming on. Appreciate the subscriber, and yeah, I end up on panels sometimes with these two fuckers that you know, so sometimes it's a lot of fun. We have good conversations, and would you like to, you know, I'm going to give the floor to you. Is there anything you'd like to say or an introduction, or do you want to slag Fabio off? It's always good.
Nah, Fabio's all right. You know, he mostly likes to pick on Chris when Chris is cooking Italian American food. See, I didn't call it Italian food.
Thank you very much.
I don't know if anyone's seen the title. It was Love, Life and Pasta, and at the very start I did ask him. I know Fabio didn't say it because he was at the movies, but I was like, have you ever made pasta, you know, in your show? And he was like, yeah, maybe. And I was like, with Fabio? I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah, I did. I mean, he replied that. I mean, he's a fucking moron. I mean, one of the first things we did was pasta. I mean, so I guess we now know how old you have to be old.
You criticized him like a motherfucker and told him everything was wrong, didn't you?
No.
Can I just say, did you see my suggestion? I think it should have been Life, Love and Pastafarianism for the title.
I saw that.
Yeah, there's a channel I found recently called Vincenzo's Plate, the Italian dude, and he cooks, and he goes off about the way the Americans make Italian American food, and every time I watch him, I always think of Fabio.
I can't make a fucking tomato sauce or any sort of pasta now without thinking of him, because he's the only Italian. Here's what we used to have. I know the names aren't popping up. Did he call himself that? No, he called himself Fabio. What he used to come in as at the very start was that Italian, because I referred to him as that Italian.
Yeah. Well, well, you know, for you and for Simon, I might fool you, because I make a hell of a good, you know, prime rib and Yorkshire puddings.
I really struggle with a good pasta sauce. I really do. I've tried for years to get it, and it always just tastes, I wouldn't say too tomatoey and not Italian enough, but I'm going to say too tomatoey and not Italian enough.
I'm going to ask you a very key question, MathPig. Really, really key question.
Now, if I'm making lasagna, my sauce is perfect.
No. It's very simple. How long does it take to make a tomato sauce?
It should take less than 5-10 minutes.
No.
He said 6.
It actually takes...
heat it up?
No. Don't get me wrong, man. Now, don't get me wrong. If I'm making lasagna, right, I will make the mince at least 2 or 3 hours or whatever before it, and all the rest. I let it soak in the sauce, you know, so there's the time that it's marinating. Would that be the right word?
No.
But the actual making of the sauce?
Yes.
I cheat every single time. I go and buy Lloyd's Grossman chili and tomato. It's just, I swear to fuck, I can't fucking make a nicer sauce.
Okay, so for 4 person, it should take you. It should take about 3 hours and a half
to make a sauce.
To make it a tomato sauce.
Right. Well, this is the crack.
Just tomatoes.
Right. Well, I work 45 hours a fucking week. Okay.
Yeah, no, listen. I'm not.
I come home from work. And I generally eat a breakfast. I'm not a big lunch person, right?
No, MathPig.
So I have a packet of crisps at 4 o'clock to keep me energy levels up. So I haven't eaten a meal from 10. I get home at 5, and you're like, spend 3 hours making a sauce. I'm gonna eat the wooden spoon, man.
You're taking it wrong. That wasn't a shot at you. That was
no.
No. That was, you know, something that, I mean, Sirius, you know, knows exactly where it was going, you know. So.
Fucking
a lot of people do stuff and say, okay, I'm making a tomato sauce or whatever. What they do is just eat a can of tomatoes. there is a way to do stuff, and there is, a quick way to do stuff. But it is important. What I'm saying is that it is important to know how to do it properly.
Right.
Right?
I'll tell you what I do.
You have to know that there is a way to do it properly.
Right.
Now, that you don't have time, you know, the skill, the tools, but that does, you have, the produce, that's fine,
I get a tin.
But
right, I'll tell you. You can tell me how wrong I am and how sacrilegious
it's,
it is.
no. It's not a matter of being right or wrong.
Oh, it's clearly
just-
wrong. It tastes too much of tomatoes. It's definitely wrong. I'm looking advice. I'm going to tell you what I do, and you tell me
Okay.
what I'm doing wrong, right?
Okay.
So I'll take a tin of tinned tomatoes. Usually there's a brand over here, Simos, Napoli, I can't remember what the fuck it is, but they make a fantastic pizza sauce, and it's made from these. So I get them tomatoes. I would then put them in a saucepan, give them a quick mash, but not a massive mash, because I do like, slightly chunky. I'll put in some sriracha, because I do like my food spicy. I like a wee bit of spice.
Sriracha? I just
Yeah.
think
What? Yeah, I don't know what it is. But...
You mean sriracha?
Sriracha.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay.
It's just a basic bland hot sauce. It just makes things hot. So I like a wee bit of chili, so I
Okay.
put that in. And then I've got Italian herbs. I'll get a garlic clove. I'll crush my garlic clove. I'll do all the chopping, and I'll add that. I add some maybe peppers and onions. And it just tastes of tomatoes. No matter what I do,
Yeah.
it just tastes of all
So-
tomatoes.
And
Can
you
you
eat
say-
it. You eat it for how long? How much?
Well, if I was making a lasagna, excuse me.
No. I mean, just one you described. The one.
If I was just making that for, say, for spaghetti bolognese, or
Mhm, yeah.
not even spaghetti bolognese, just pasta and sauce, I
Yeah.
would let it sit for maybe a half hour while I have a smoke, right? If I'm making a lasagna, I will add that to the mince and then let that cook for 2 or 3 hours. Because I'm making a lasagna, and the lasagna has to be nicer. But when I get home from work and I'm fucking starving and haven't eaten in close to 6 hours, I want food quick. And a lasagna I would prep the night before, because I usually
So-
make a lasagna if I'm trying to impress, or if I've got this, or I've
So
got
it
some
it
time.
is. I mean, it's very complicated to give an answer to that because.
Just say you're shit,
So-
Robbie. Stop being Irish.
Well,
It's
no.
fine.
I mean, the thing is that you're making something with tomato, and then you say it tastes too much of tomato. So that actually confuses me a little bit, because I
It's a
don't know
tomato-
what the hell do you expect
Right.
it to taste like.
Okay, right. You're being an asshole now, because
No, I'm genuinely
I
asking-
specifically said I can't find better words than it's more tomato than Italian, but I'm going to use it's more tomato
Can-
than Italian.
Okay.
Do add that
So-
caveat. You get what I'm saying? Like when I eat. Sorry, let me finish, Wildheart. When I have,
Sorry, carry
I
on.
use
My-
Lloyd Grossman chili and tomato sauce. It tastes more lasagna-y, more Italian-y, more spicy, more. There's the tomato aftertone, but there's more flavour to it. There's also a lot of fucking oil, because it's very spicy.
Too much oregano as well.
Can you say more tomato and more Italian is not a true dichotomy?
The Wild Heart's internet just broke.
No, I mean, again,
I can't
it's,
find the
it's,
words. All right, it's hard.
No,
to describe
okay,
it.
I get you. I mean,
It's
it
hard to
doesn't taste
describe
the
a
way.
taste in English.
okay.
Never mind something in English to someone who it's not their first language.
No. Listen, I understand. What you're trying. I mean, what you're telling me is that it doesn't taste like the stuff that you buy, which is already prepped.
No, not necessarily. I've been to Italian restaurants where it's freshly cooked. There's an Italian restaurant in Amsterdam at the bottom of the square that makes fucking fantastic pasta with sauce and cooks everything fresh. They also make
Okay,
great pizza. And all.
that-
But
And this is why I asked you what you use it for, because if you use it for pasta. So if you use it for stuff for lasagna, you're cooking that way too low. I mean, it should be cooking for 3 or 4 hours. That's it.
yeah, for
And
lasagna,
you
it's
should
on a one.
But it's totally different, because you don't make lasagna with a sauce like that. You make lasagna with a proper meat sauce, and it's
I
different.
use the exact same sauce for both.
That's a problem. But that is. But I mean, that is not even there. I mean, if you cook it to put on pasta, first of all, you got to use a skillet, not a pan, right?
Right.
You have to.
Jealous,
So
you mean
the first
like
thing.
a frying pan, not a
Yes.
saucepan.
Yes. So the first thing you have to do is that you have to put olive oil first. You got to put, a garlic that you have to take away, right? You just crush it, you leave it in the oil. When it starts sizzling, you take it away. And then if you want to put canned tomato, you got to crush them with your hands. And not too many of them. You just add salt, pepper, and if you want something spicy, you either add some chili, whatever, just a hint of oregano, and then you let it go. But it's important that it's got to be in a pan because it has to cook quick, so it has to be not thick, and the water has got to go away. And the perfect timing is
Would you cover
the
that?
time.
So you wouldn't cover it. You would
No, you don't cover. You do not cover that. You only need to cook for 6 to 7 minutes. That's
Right.
enough.
And actually, with that, you're probably best starting off with passata rather than crushed tomatoes.
Right, yeah.
Well, the masher I have is about that size, and it's got square holes in it, and it gets like 2 or 3 squishes. So it's something similar to the hand squishing. But I literally pour the whole tin in.
No, yeah, but just crush it with your hands and take away the stem, the odd part.
Yeah.
You take it away. That's
Yeah,
it.
because if you just use the masher, it's going to be mashed, but it's still going to be big chunks. Which you want to actually kind of pull it apart with your hands.
And I've got lots of chilies. I've got dried chilies. I've got frozen chilies. I've got fucking dried out chili flakes.
Yeah.
I like.
But again, the trick in your case, and if you want to make a sauce for pasta, is not to use a pan. You got to use a frying pan.
Yeah,
because it's more wide, so the water actually goes away, and the tomato cooks.
That's my problem.
Not a saucepan. You don't use a saucepan.
Yeah, I always put it in a saucepan because when I do it in a frying pan, then I'll add the mince. And when you try and do this, you spill it everywhere. So I do it originally in sauce.
Yeah, but see what Fabio's talking about is for a quick sauce. That's different than a proper sauce where you're cooking for like 3 or 4 hours. And you're putting a bunch of stuff like here in the U.S. people might call it or Chris would call it Sunday gravy, where you basically you mash up the stuff and then you very often put cheese. You might put different meats in it, and you're gonna cook it in meatballs, and you're gonna cook it and let all the flavor from the pork and the beef and whatever else you put
Like
in
chili.
Excuse me, if I can sorry, I've just noticed the chat. Please do not time out or delete anything from Jill. All right, please let Jill talk in the chat. I put watermelon on my pasta. Okay, he is black. He's allowed to. Just let Jill. Please don't time anyone out. You finished eating Wild Heart? I'll let you back in because you were fucking loving that chicken. It was getting
watermelon.
I'm going. Did I just get timed out for eating a chicken leg?
No, it's just there's a serious conversation going on, and you're sitting right up at the camera going.
A serious conversation?
Yeah, no.
Every conversation I'm in is a serious conversation.
Okay, when it comes no, I
That's
have a
racist.
few.
How can they put me in time off? I put watermelon on my pasta.
Can't say
How they put me in time off for that?
That is Jill on my channel. Jill is on my channel. Don't go to my channel to stop watching this. But
Wildheart, I'm going to put you in the background, but could you please convey to him
fine.
that was not supposed to happen? I'm not sure who did that.
Right.
I've just seen it happen. If you could please convey to him.
I'll let him know.
Let him know to come
I'll
in.
let him know.
Jill is also welcome to come and join the hangout if he wants to come in. That would be an interesting conversation. But yeah, I'm going to remove you, put you in the background. Wildheart, you can go and do that. No, this is a fucking serious conversation because I have a particular dish. I don't know if anyone knows.
I'm taking notes, man. I'm the one with the cooking show.
Okay, chicken fricassee. Okay, that's what we call chicken fricassee over here. This is what we call this meal. The reason I started to make it is it was massive in our primary school. It was something that was loved by everybody. Went back for seconds and thirds. It's basically chicken. The real basic version is chicken, sweet corn, onions, in a white sauce with breadcrumbs in the top, put in the fucking oven. That's it. It's a very simple, easy meal to make. But I spent a very long time making my own version. Bit of this, bit of that. I use coriander. I add some peppers. There's some fried. I make a bechamel sauce rather than a white sauce. Different cheeses and stuff. And people use bread crumbs. I prefer to cut the bread up with the knife, and then you get chunky bits, which are nice. And I like spending time finding the pasta sauce has been annoying me for a very, very, very long time. Because I'm rambling.
Yeah. That dish you've described, I've never heard of that. I've heard that name before, but not used to describe that particular dish.
Yeah, well, over here.
You said chicken, corn, onions, and a white sauce.
You fry the chicken till it's cooked.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you've got a basic white sauce, and you'll maybe fry some onions. And then you'll put the onions and the chicken in the sauce with some sweet corn. And then you cover the whole thing in breadcrumbs, and you put it in the oven for maybe 20 minutes if it's already warm, or an hour if you cooked it the night before. And you get
say again what it's called?
Chicken fricassee. I'll type it in the chat.
It just sounds so funny.
One of them E's has got a fada over the top of it. If I'm
Okay, thank you.
Oh, freaking chickasee. Is that called?
Well, it's a
freaking chickasee.
Well, fricassee is a French dish originally.
That's what it was called over here in our primary school. Now I'm fucking 38, man. But that's what it was called in our primary school, and I spent fucking ages just making my own version. It was. I wouldn't say it's my signature dish. My lasagna is more of my signature dish now. Although I do steal Lloyd Grossman's sauce, I do make my own white sauce.
Here, I found a good recipe for it. Threw me off was the sweet corn, because it doesn't normally you would have mirepoix and not sweet corn.
Sweet corn and chicken is like a cultural thing over here, man. If you get it goes together really, really well. You get chicken and sweet corn sandwiches. You get chicken and sweet corn. Wildheart, you're talking and you muted yourself. All right, you're talking, Wildheart. You're muted yourself.
He's probably talking on his channel.
Good point. Forgot about that.
Yeah, I like sweet corn, but I don't really like it in dishes, just like by itself.
Tuna, good mayonnaise, sweet corn, fantastic sandwich filler.
Ugh.
What? To the tuna or?
I hate fish.
Tuna and mayonnaise.
Mixing. Well, no, tuna and mayonnaise are fine. I mean, I eat tuna salad, but sweet corn mixed with the tuna sounds very off-putting to me.
You should try it. Definitely should try it, man.
I mean, I don't even like it in like chicken pot pie, which is kind of like here. It's like half people will use it that way, half won't. But I find the texture of sweet corn when it's mixed with other things to be objectionable. It's beautiful by itself. It doesn't need any help, and it doesn't have any friends.
But butter, obviously.
Yeah. Now you see this is the thing, right? Butter, yeah. How do you cook your sweet corn?
Either
now we're talking corn in the cob, right? We're going cooking channel now, right?
Yeah.
We're talking corn in the cob.
Either boiled, steamed, or grilled.
I would boil it.
Right? Boiled's easiest, but yeah.
I would boil it till it's perfectly soft, and then I would crush some garlic with some butter, and then I would fry it on like one of them iron pans for like a steak. What do you call them when they're It's not cast iron, but it's got the skillets, is it? The lines in it. So when you cook a steak...
Oh, a grill pan.
Pardon?
A grill pan.
Yeah. So, yeah.
See, for me, like one of the best ways to serve it is you soak the corn in the husk overnight, wring it out, just get all the excess water off, and then you steam it on the grill. So you get your barbecue grill going and steam it there.
I've seen people do that. And it turned out really well. I'm not a very good cook. That was actually when I said I'm the one who has a cooking show. Like that's the joke of the cooking show is that I can't cook.
It's your mum show. It's your mum's show, and you internet for her.
That's true. Yes, it's actually my mom's show, and I'm just like the producer / host.
Okay.
And
Well, you're probably still better than Kay's cooking.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of like on par, I think, with Kay's cooking. with some of like her better recipes, I think.
I'm gonna just if I can, I'm gonna find out if Jill is interested to join. Maybe he can teach us how to cook.
I doubt it.
Doubt that.
Being the
Before that
misogynist that he
happens-
is, I would imagine only his wife knows.
On that note, serious mind, my father used to work with welders, right? And aluminium welding and stuff and all like that there. And one of the guys that he worked with came up with this fantastic idea, right? And it's basically a little mini wheelbarrow about this size, right? With no wheels. And what it has in the center is something very similar like this that I get left over from work. Only what he did is he made it just big enough for a can of beer or a can of cider or whatever it was, right? The idea behind it was you got a can of cider, you poured half of it out or drank half of it, you put it in this little wheelbarrow, and then you got a chicken's ass and you put it over the top of it.
Oh yeah, beer can chicken.
And it was absolutely...
Oh yeah,
My mom's done this with a turkey.
I've stuffed a beer can up a chicken's ass. Yeah.
But this was like a wee holder specifically made for a barbecue, man. Like there's a picture of me and my daddy's, the apron at like Father's Day, and all you can see in the background is this big ass chicken that I've done like a dry rub and all on with this fucking thing. And yeah, it's really good.
That's
I think
cool.
my
Oh, yeah.
mom did like a 24 ounce for a Thanksgiving turkey. Yeah.
It's easy if you do it with a bottle.
Yeah.
Instead of with a can. No, it's true. I mean, the way to do it in an oven is with a bottle.
I would be afraid of
Okay.
the glass breaking.
Yeah, see, as far as turkey goes, now the best thing to do is deep fry it.
No, I'm not
fried
letting you in for a
turkey.
shit joke.
That
Winehouse.
is.
I don't think we have a
Exactly.
deep fryer that big. I think our deep fryer would maybe fit a quail. Like,
Well, see, the thing is, I got the pot over there. So you got like a camp stove, and you get a very deep pot, and it's got to be able to have about 5-gallon capacity because you're going to use about 3 gallons of peanut oil, and the turkey takes up about a gallon. Depending on how big the turkey is, it's going to be roughly a gallon of displacement. So, but you deep fry the turkey, and so it's crisp. The skin is crisp everywhere. It cooks in like 45 minutes. And because it's cooking from both the inside and the outside, you don't have to worry about it being raw or anything like that. And so you basically, I usually brine it first for like 3 days, and then I do a dry rub, and then I fry it, and it's spectacular. The only downside is no stuffing.
it does sound delicious. I think it's probably beyond the capabilities of me and my mom, but that downside of the no stuffing is probably the biggest downside because that's actually my favorite like food of any time of year is turkey stuffing.
Stuffing.
It can also be really dangerous if you do it the first time.
I've heard that if people do it with like a frozen turkey, they like burn their house down and shit.
Oh yeah. You have to know what you're doing. Well, I mean, the thing is that you have to make sure the turkey is completely defrosted, and the best thing to do is test with water first. You put your turkey into your fryer, and you're into the pot. You put a known volume of water until it doesn't quite cover it, because what's going to happen is when you cook, the oil is going to expand and take up more space. So you have to make sure that the turkey is uncovered by about a good 3-4 inches, and then use that amount of oil when you cook, and then you'll be fine, nice and safe.
Rebuke and refuse, or whatever you want to call yourself. Jill, are you still in the chat, man? Just post a link, post any sort of message, and I will post the link for you. You can come in, and but back on the cooking talk. I make the best stuffing, man. I've been invited to my sister-in-law's house, and it's like, when you're coming, can you bring your stuffing? Because it's better than my mum's. Stuffing is... question, do you put meat in your stuffing, or do you not put meat in your stuffing? Some people
I'm
over
a
here
vegetarian,
put
so I make it in a dish.
Some people over
I don't
here
even put it in a turkey anymore.
Some people over here put pork in their stuffing. I don't like
That's
sausage
probably
meat.
really good.
Well, yeah, if you use the right kind of sausage, and the right kind of sausage is unfortunately not any of the sausage in the UK. And mind you, I love the UK sausage, bangers and mash, all that kind of stuff. That's awesome, but that's not the type of sausage you use in stuffing.
Pork sausage is over
you
here.
You need a good fennel sausage, an Italian style sausage.
Pork sausages in the UK are shit. I will put my hand up and say that it is. The only sausage I like that is pork is the big fat Cookstown ones that they get, and you have to deep fat fry them and all the rest. And it's just purely a takeaway cultural thing. There is no good pork sausage over here.
I like sausage rolls. I mean, I know that's like low grade sausage, but it's still tasty as hell.
I like a good beef sausage with very little pepper. I'm not a pepper fan, but I do like a beef sausage.
But to Savage's point about the stuffing,
I bet you do.
see, if I'm cooking for a bunch of people, then I'll do 2 smaller turkeys instead of 1 big one. So then I'll have one that gets fried and one that gets done in the oven. So this way I get the best of both worlds.
You can always do the stuffing in a baking dish. I mean, I know it's like sacrilege, but like I've done it for like over 10 Thanksgivings now, and like.
What do you mean? I prep my stuffing in a saucepan, and then I always put it in like an oven dish or else tin foil with some butter, and put it in the oven for another 10-20 minutes. That's the best way to make stuffing.
Well, see, I'll make both kinds because my wife actually prefers not from the bird. So we end up making a big batch and splitting it. Half goes in the bird.
I always like as well, if you're wrapping it in tin foil, open the tin foil about 5-10 minutes before, so you get the burnt edges, and then re-wrap and shake.
Get crispy,
You want them crispy edges. How have we got onto this? Religious talk.
Oh, you're talking about making pasta sauce.
This is all fucking Chris's fault.
It's all just been talking about food, yeah.
Well, I mean, I can.
And I'm taking notes.
I mean, you can tell.
I will come on one stream to your stream, and then we will do chicken fricassee sandwich.
Okay.
One of the things I want to try is I've made you know, like rib roast and Yorkshires many times. I've never tried deep frying the rib roast, but I want to try that.
Go to Scotland. They deep fat fry ice cream.
We do that here too. Or Snickers. That's always one
Mars
that I'm
bar.
like.
Yeah, they use a Mars bar over here. You must like your nuts.
Like why?
You like your nuts.
Yeah. Now, see what you guys call a Mars bar is different than the Mars bar we have here.
A marathon.
My personal favorite is the Snickers ice cream bar. When you do batter it and deep fry that. Oh my gosh.
I like a Mars ice cream bar over the Snickers ice cream bar, and it's just because of the way the caramel tastes, and I'm not a big fan of caramel. Do you know what? If we're going to talk chocolate bars, get yourself a fucking Kinder Maxi. It's got nuts, it's got caramel, it's got chocolate. That damn thing, if you eat 2 of them, that's like sex. They are fucking fantastic. And they come in packs of 3, alright? 2 is sex, they come in packs of 3. You're going to have a great time. Kinder Maxi. Kinder Maxi.
The Mars bar in the UK, it's a candy bar with nougat and caramel coated with chocolate but without almonds. So what you call a Mars bar, we call a Milky Way.
Oh no, a Milky Way is a totally
we do have Milky Ways. Yeah.
Right, but what you call Milky Way is not what we call Milky Way.
So what do you call Milky Way?
So
it's like nougat and caramel.
So what you call a Mars bar, that's exactly what the same thing we call a Milky Way.
Right. Well, what do you call a Milky Way?
What you call a Milky Way? What does a Milky Way have where you are?
Well, it's
Milky
very
Bar
light.
Kid.
No, if it's just nougat, if it's just nougat, then that's a Three Musketeers.
That's Three Musketeers, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Why not? You were behind stage because I thought you were on your own stream. I added you twice before, and you were all screaming at a different camera, so that's why you were backstage. I thought you were on your own.
Of course, I feel that the deep fried candy and other things is just the chip shop's way of trying to increase the throughput.
Yeah.
And I knew this was a reality because our local chip shop was offering deep fried pizzas.
I'm not sure how someone deep fries a pizza.
You batter a pizza and you deep fry it. So battered pizza.
Ew.
It battered.
Yes, battered and then deep fried.
If
I love the way the explanation is like, look, it's okay. We got a dog shit. We covered it in batter, and then we deep fried it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, you know, there's batter on it.
I wonder what the Italian thinks of that. Like, just saying.
I think he's in a coma.
Yeah.
Go on. There is an Italian dish in which.
No, I mean, well, first of all, it's okay. I mean, if you like it, more power to you. I mean,
okay.
It's not my problem. There is fried pizza in Italy. It's actually a very old dish. It's made in Naples. but it's like do you know what a calzone is? Of course you do, right? So yeah, they basically fry the calzone. That is the fried pizza.
But I wouldn't consider calzone a pizza, though. Although a lot of people here seem to think it is.
So
I
what?
wouldn't consider it a pizza. Calzone is a wrapped pizza, would it not be?
No.
Well, not a wrapped pizza, but it's a. Is the
It's a
calzone
folded
not the
pizza.
wrapped?
Yeah, it's
Don't fucking
no,
laugh at me.
it's-
You have a cooking show and you're taking notes on an atheist channel. Shut up.
It's folded up, yeah, but it's the same dough as pizza, yeah.
Right, but I mean, the filling is usually ricotta.
Oh, well, not really. I mean, there are several types. So
Right now, I
Could be
feel like
tomato,
asking is a hot dog
mozzarella.
a sandwich or not. That's
I just thought you meant it's stale pizza that's been reheated by frying. That's all. But okay, carry on.
Plus, I would keep the cholesterol levels of the Scottish up. I think the deep fried pizza was invented in Scotland. Got to keep the
Scotland deep fried
cholesterol
fries a
levels
lot of
up.
stuff.
Yeah, a lot of
So
things
if
were.
it's not ricotta, then what's the other option? Mozzarella?
for a calzone, you mean? There are several variants. You can have them with tomato and mozzarella. You can have with the ricotta and there's some people put spinach. There is a typical one is with but I don't know the English word. It's a vegetable. It's kind of bitter. It's not asparagus, but they look like kind of it. I will look how it's called. I have no idea. And cod, believe it or not.
Cod, the fish.
The fish, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, now see over here. Whenever I've seen something that's like a calzone, but has mozzarella and tomato and possibly other meats, we usually call that a stromboli.
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
What I'm going to do.
I've actually heard the Stromboli argument several times.
What I'm going to do is end this.
I've seen like a.
Go on, Savage. No, go on. You fucking, go on ahead. Knock yourself out. What were you saying?
Well, I was thinking that the stromboli that I've seen is it's like a log almost, but it's Italian American, so it could be just completely pulled out of somebody's butt. Yeah, it sounds like it.
Well, now.
What I'm going to do is.
Well, they have to be a good friend.
That's when you know you've got a friend.
Yeah.
When at 3 o'clock in the morning, they'll knock on your door and say, "Can you pull this stromboli out of my butt, please?"
Right.
It sounds like some chili juice crap.
Then the other thing we have too is we have sausage rolls and pepperoni rolls.
I
Which are
don't
kind
get right. Another sausage rolls, Wild Heart. You're from the British Isles, as is Sam Ross. Sausage rolls, big over here. We've got fucking Greg's and shit like that. Fuck sausage rolls.
I love them. But see, I love your sausage rolls and I love our sausage rolls. Our sausage rolls are completely different. They're basically pastry wrapped with cheese and meat, and
so the pastry's wrapped with meat.
With tomato sauce.
So it's pastry then wrapped with meat. Over here, it's meat wrapped in pastry.
Yeah, and cheese as well.
It's pastry on the outside.
I don't know why cheese comes in on sausage roll.
But it's like Italian sausage inside and mozzarella cheese usually.
Bit of cheese would make it nicer. Sometimes they do spicy ones.
It would, but in the traditional sausage roll, no cheese.
No, and yours is usually like puff pastry, as I recall.
Yeah. It's basically sausage meat. Sausage meat wrapped in pastry.
I have my own version as well of. Do you have stuffed sausages? Like you would have a stuffed bacon roll over there. A bacon roll over here is you get a sausage, you cut it open, you put stuff in it, and you wrap a piece of bacon around it to keep it, all together. And that's a stuffed bacon roll. I came up with.
Also,
go ahead.
Sorry. I'd also go. One of my other favourites besides sausage rolls is similar but not the same, which is Cornish pasty.
Oh, I love those.
Cornish pasty with not too much pepper. Sometimes they overdo the pepper. But anyway, right?
Stilton and bacon.
I'll finish
Invented for people down the mines. I think they actually had in one half like a savoury treat, and in the other half a kind of dessert thing sent for people down the mines when they were working. I think that's how it got invented.
Which leads me on to pork pies.
Well, if I can just,
Go
and then we'll
Sam.
do your pork pies, and then we'll, if it's
No, I'm just
pie.
we'll
mentioning.
split the
Maybe
bricks out.
pie.
We'll all build a house.
Just-
Stuffed
just
bacon
going through-
rolls, right?
I'm
Stuffed
just going
bacon rolls
through-
is that sausage stuffing, one piece of bacon around it. That's what I have over here. I come up
Yeah,
with my
I'm trying
own
to remember,
version. What I do is I get 3 sausages, and I slice them up the middle and level them out flat. So you have 3 half sausages on the bottom, and then you would have 3 half sausages on the top, and about 4 slices of bacon. And I would set the cling film down on the chopping board, then about 4 or 5 slices of bacon. The
That's
sausage
the streaky bacon.
Hmm?
Streaky bacon.
Streaky bacon is better at the end for wrapping. I generally would prefer back bacon, but streaky bacon does suit this better because you can use it like a rope. But if you've got it this long, you have your 3 slices of sausage over here, and so you put homemade stuffing on it with mushrooms. I do like mushrooms really cut up fine on it, and I put that on, make my own stuffing, put the 3 sausages on top, and then wrap it. Now it comes out about that size, but if you were getting a stuffed bacon roll, you'd usually get 2 or 3 anyway, but this one is just this homemade gravy. You got some carrots and parsnips and some spuds with really good milk and really good non-salted butter.
Savage, when I said streaky bacon, you looked vaguely puzzled.
Yeah, like, did you mean that the bacon is streaky, or that like the dish?
Are you in the U.S. or Canada?
Yeah, this is
Yes.
the point. Yeah, I was.
Okay, you same as me. So what you and I call bacon here, the UK calls streaky bacon, and what they call bacon is what we call either back bacon or Canadian bacon.
Okay.
It is back
like
bacon. Yeah, I would refer to it as
type
back.
of-
Can I get a clarification on solvent? What was it? Solvent butter?
Non-salted butter.
Salted.
Yeah, I really not want to see butter.
I was like, what is he talking about?
And while we're going through British cuisine, of course, pigs in bacon, pigs in
I love
blankets,
it.
rather.
Yes, we have.
Now, what is the difference between a sausage and a banger?
Nothing.
They're the same thing.
Cultural
Same thing.
Banger
differences.
is, yeah,
It's
banger
like saying
is,
spuds
although-
or potatoes. Spuds
Yeah.
and potatoes.
Sausage
They
in
tend to be-
German is a bit different.
And British sausages tend to be sage sausages rather than here, which are usually have fennel sausages.
Okay.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to move to the Patreon channel, and this will get even worse. So either Simon,
Okay.
you see, look,
Oh, you guys are
Simos
gonna give me
knows.
even worse
Simos
shit.
knows
Okay.
straight away when we move to the Patreon channel. Simos always gets his fucking tits out. So
I was just gonna say, I usually take my top off.
Cool.
if
You're
anyone,
moving
did
on to
miss
my
the
own
20 if
odds.
anyone did miss the 24-hour stream that was only 19 hours because a fucking 23-year-old man can't stay up as long as us. Savage Minnow did
can
do
you just,
Savage. I'll fucking
Sorry.
kick it. Savage Minnow did do the Minnow Keeney to keep up with the Math Keeney. She came on in a swimsuit, exactly the same suit as the Mark 1 man Keeney, and did a wee dancing camera and all. She was up for I think 30 something hours, except for that 2
Something
hours
like
she slept.
Except for those 2 hours that I went and took a nap next to my wife. Yeah.
I apologize. I was just gonna say thank you, MathPig and Christopher Maute as well. It was a brilliant show and a brilliant after show as well. Thank you very much.
It's all
It was a
down
really
to
good show,
Chris.
yeah.
It's all down to Chris. So on that, thanks everybody for watching. All the rest of it, will any of the members or any of the Patreons, you know where to look, and
Please
we'll-
like and subscribe.
yeah. Fucking fuck
Are you
Simos,
just trying to cancel me out?
No, not me.
I kick you all. Remember, people, think for yourselves and subscribe to Chris. His links in the fucking channel. Lavender Lady, tweet at me. I'll send you the link for the Patreon channel. You should be there as one of the nice people that helped me. So that's
Lavender Lady is one of my very favoriteest YouTubers like ever. She's like I seriously favorite probably. Yeah.
Tuesday, is it Sundays and Thursdays or Sundays and Tuesdays? I always get them 2 days mixed up. Tuesdays and Thursdays. Sundays and Tuesdays or Sundays and Thursdays?
It's today's.
Well, today's
But today's a Sunday. Yeah. I can never remember.
Actually, in the UK, today's a Monday. Just
What ass is getting kicked again? Right, on that note, everybody, think for yourselves. We'll see you over in the other channel. It's going to get fucking worse and more drunk. I'm going to break out another bottle of wine.
Tuesdays.
thanks a lot.
There you go.
Thanks a lot, MathPig. Thanks a lot.
We'll see you over there, folks. Everybody, thank you very much. And outro and more music.